Well, everybody, it is Saturday, the 5th of October, 2019. It is about 8:23 in the morning, and I have an unexpected trip today. At least an unexpected mode. Um, you guys who've been following me know I was supposed to get on a bus at 7:20 this morning, a Greyhound bus from Gallup to Albuquerque to pick up the Amtrak train from Albuquerque to Raton, and then back on Greyhound from Raton to Denver this evening. The problem is that the bus that was supposed to leave Gallup at 7:20 this morning is almost an hour and 45 minutes late, and it's getting later and later. Well, I only had an hour and 40-minute layover in Albuquerque between getting there with the bus and getting to and getting on the train. So luckily my car I had my car in Gallup, so we're driving back to Albuquerque. So what does that mean? Well, now I'm trying to find out where to leave my car, how to maybe get it back to Gallup, all these different things like that. Anyway, we'll see how that plays out. It is a beautiful morning. I got everything packed that I needed packed. I'm all set as far as that. But this was not something that I expected today to be driving. But it is what it is, and that's life. You have to adapt. You have to, everybody always quotes, being a Marine veteran, overcome and adapt, or adapt and overcome anyway. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. I will call the school later, let them know what the heck's going on, just so that they know the little hiccup there. But I am, like I said, I'm on my way back to Albuquerque. Hopefully it won't take too long. The traffic's a little rough here. It is Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque. I don't think I'm going to get there early enough to see anything. If you have not been to the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta, it is something that you have to see at least once in your life. It's the most photographed event in the world. Today, is the first mass ascension. Looked like the weather was going great for that. Tonight is the balloon glow, and that's always a beautiful event too. But if you haven't had a chance, go check that out. If not this year, check it out in future years. It does run for a week, so Albuquerque's all about balloons for the next week, but it's gorgeous. That said, one of the other great balloon festivals in the United States actually is in Gallup. I believe it happens when the weather gets a little bit colder. I'm not 100% sure if it's November or December, or I may be just totally off about the timing. But it is beautiful. It's the Red Rock Balloon Fiesta. It takes place in Gallup every year, and that's beautiful as well. So if you get an opportunity, check them out. If you're somebody who likes to drive, one of the things I was thinking about the other day, I used to drive this road from Albuquerque to Gallup, back and forth, fairly often when I was going to school and that kind of stuff. I would drive back and forth, and they used to have this thing. I don't know if you've ever driven around a place where you see these signs that tell you to tune to a certain AM frequency. Usually it's around 610, give or take. And there's these low power AM radios, little radio stations. A lot of the national parks have them to give you information about the park, so that you can learn or can find out about parking or what's open or what's not, or any of that kind of stuff. When I worked for schools, we had a little AM station where people who pulled into the parking lot could hear the announcements for the day. They could hear any special kinds of things that we wanted them to hear. So that was a neat way to connect with people. But here in New Mexico, they used to have these signs around the state, and it was called Here, HEAR, Here New Mexico. And I used to love to listen to them, because what they used to have is Ricardo Montalban. And if you don't know who Ricardo Montalban is, I feel sorry for you. He was a wonderful actor. Most people know him for if you're a Star Trek fan, as Khan from the original, and also from the second movie, Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. Most people know him from that. Fantasy Island, if you grew up in the 70s, 80s, you know him from there as Mr. Rourke. He also, something that I didn't really realize for the longest time, is he, if you've ever heard the song "Baby It's Cold Outside," in the movies, he actually sang that song with, it was part of that whole thing, and that was great. So if you ever get a chance to check that out, that's a great one to see. But anyway, Ricardo Montalban had recorded these messages. The state of New Mexico paid him to do these, and you would drive and listen to these, and they would tell you the history of different parts of the state. So, like for instance, we're right now, I'm west of Grants, and on the other side of Grants, you have Acoma, which is Sky City, and you also have Laguna out there. But they used to talk, the one that I thought was really interesting is he would talk about Acoma, and how when the Spanish conquistadors and the Spanish religious people came and they tried to convert the Acoma Indians up to Catholicism, they were building a church, and the only place to get the wood to build the beams for the church was actually out at Mount Taylor. If you've driven around New Mexico, you know most of the trees that are in the area are pinon, that kind of tree, a smaller tree that really is not designed to build structures. But you have the giant ponderosa pines that you find on Mount Taylor near Grants, and those are perfect for it. Well, they took the beams, and because they were going to be used for a church, they didn't want the beams to touch the ground once they were cut. So the Acoma Indians carried those beams dozens of miles, dozens and dozens, if not 20, 25 miles. I'm not sure exactly how far it was, but it is a good jolt, or a good trip there. But they would carry them without letting them ever touch the ground, all the way to Sky City, to the Pueblo, so that they could build the church up there. So I thought that was really interesting. But one of the things that I loved listening to him is he would always say the same thing. He would say at the end, he'd say, "This is Ricardo Montalban for the state of New Mexico, wishing you bien viaje, a good journey." So all I'm going to say is bien viaje, a good journey. I hope whatever this weekend holds in store for you, you have a good one, you have a safe one. And this probably is not going to be the last one that I record today. I have a feeling I've got some time on a train later today, and I've got some time on a bus from getting into going from Raton to Denver. So I'm probably going to record some more. But for right now, I thought this was just a little good to get you caught up and let you know, the best laid plans of mice and men often go awry. Robert Burns, I think, wrote that, and it is true. It is definitely true. So anyway, take care, and I will see you soon.